People are abandoning Detroit.
Everybody run!
The city of Detroit, they're leaving it. And I know why. Actually got 5 reasons right here. Like the news anchor. Tonight, Detroit, and why people are leaving. But before I get into this list, I gotta tell you a little story. A story about this dead-end street in the city of Detroit. Now, back in the mid-'80s, this street was on the news, and not for a good reason. It was featured because a couple kids were gunned down right around here. And that was actually pretty common back in the 80s. The mid-'80s had the highest homicide levels in the city of Detroit ever. Back in '86, over 365 kids were hit by a bullet. Now, why do I tell you this story about this street being on the news back in the 80s? I tell you because this house right here was my house. This is where little Paul lived. This is where I grew up. And if we look at the statistics, it's actually safer to live in Detroit now than it was then. Look at these homicides per year. Back in the 80s, you had 636, 648, 686, 629. Now you've got like 309. So it's like way better than it was. I feel like I have to share that because every time I make a video about Detroit, everybody's like, you don't know anything about Detroit. Well, I do. I know quite a bit. So let's get into this. The peak population for Detroit was 1,849,568. But that was way back in 1950. Long time. Before my time. And at that time, it was the 5th largest city in the United States. So it was big. Now, the city of Detroit only has 630,000. That means it's like 66% smaller than it was at its peak. So the size of Detroit is still the same, but it's just less people-y. That's good for some people. Get these people out of here. So why did they leave? Well, I've got these 5 reasons. Number 5, flooding. If you haven't heard, Detroit has some pretty serious water management issues. It's not getting any better. And the reason for that is the city of Detroit has a combined sewer system. It was built in the 1930s. Probably fine in the 30s, but it's not fine now. So what is a combined sewer system? Excellent question. It means that wastewater and stormwater, so like the sewage and everything, is all combined into one system. Same pipes, fighting for the same space. So when it rains a lot and it overloads the system, everything just sort of comes up. So you got basements that are just like filled to the brim with a little bit of everything. Gross. The low-lying neighborhoods around the Detroit River are really susceptible to all this stuff. And they rely on these pumps to pump everything out and away. But sometimes those pumps fail. I mean, they're pumps. Perfect forever. So flooding doesn't happen all over the city. You kind of gotta know where you should live. It's where someone like me, a real estate agent, comes in. So if you're thinking about moving to Detroit or any other area, I hope a lot of people move here. So reach out. Contact information is all below. Some of the new developments in Detroit, they go for millions and they're beautiful. Like the high rises, they're not gonna flood there. You can get out of there. You like look down, like, wow, look at all that water. Next thing on our list, property taxes. Of all the cities, towns, areas, villages in Michigan, who do you think has the highest property taxes?
I'm thinking Detroit.
Did you guess Detroit? Well, you're right. It would have been kind of awkward if you guessed anything other than Detroit. This is a list about Detroit. There is an exception to this. So the NEZ taxes, they are a reduced rate taxes on certain homes and developments. And again, if you want to find those, talk to someone like me. We can help you find them so that you're not paying these crazy taxes. But a lot of times people are paying too much in taxes and they're like, forget it, I'm out of here, I'm out of state, out of the city. If you buy a primary residence with the NEZ taxes in Detroit, you're gonna save about 15 to 20% on your taxes. So it's a pretty big chunk of change. But the problem with this is it's for a limited time only. So if you don't get reduced taxes for the rest of your life, it's for a limited time. So again, it's another reason why people leave. So they get the reduced rate taxes and then they're like, hey, time's up. I'm out.
Peace out.
Reason number 3 people are leaving. The homes in Detroit. There are a lot of abandoned, burned up, broken down houses in Detroit. It's a fact. You saw it in like where I used to live. Knocked down houses. It's just a thing. If your house is beautiful, but it's next to a house that's like boarded up or knocked down, chances are you probably don't want to stay there. Some people just hold out and they're like, I'm gonna stay here forever. Now, a lot of those houses that are like beat up could be restored, and a lot of them have been restored over the years. A lot of them are amazing. So you've got these big old mansions that were abandoned at one time that they've completely renovated and they've turned into $1 million condos. Absolutely check some of those out if you have a chance. Live close to downtown Detroit, live in a renovated mansion, like just a portion of it. Amazing. I've actually made some videos about some of the nicest neighborhoods in Detroit. You should absolutely subscribe to this channel and check out some of those videos when you're done with this one. You gotta continue with this first. Don't abandon me. I do feel bad for out-of-towners who see these houses online and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move to this house, and they don't realize that like right next door there's no house, or the other side there's like all burned up, boarded up. But yeah, I have somebody like me who says, oh, this is how it looks. Trying to be honest. The number 2 reason on our list is crime. I almost left crime out of this. I really wanted to leave crime out of this. On one hand, when I mention crime, everybody from Detroit gets all pissed and they're like, don't talk about my city. You don't know what it's like. Okay, all right. And if I don't mention crime, then I get a bunch of people in the comment section like, you didn't talk about the real reason. Okay, so like I have to put it in here. It's like any city in the United States, like it's gonna have crime. You show me a city that doesn't have crime, and I will show you a ghost town. You like ghosts and still commit crimes. You've got unfinished business. Business is crime. Despite whatever you've heard, Detroit is not the most dangerous city in America. It's actually not even the most dangerous city in the state of Michigan, but it still has crime. If you want to move to Detroit, or really any city in Metro Detroit, anywhere ever, I would do 2 things. First thing, contact a real estate agent like me so they can sort of help you, like navigate the area. The next thing I would do is go to neighborhoodscout.com. I talk a lot about that site. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but you can see crime data, schools, demographics, everything down to the neighborhood level of any city that you're interested in. So if you're interested in Birmingham or Royal Oak or Northville or Novi or Detroit, you can just look. You can see down to the neighborhood. You can pick your neighborhood, type in an address, you can see everything around it. Problem solved. The number 1 reason that people have been leaving the city of Detroit since the 50s is the suburbs.
So frickin' boring.
Aside from crime, the schools, the roads, everything else you've ever heard, the number 1 reason that people move out of the city of Detroit is because of the development of all of the suburbs around it. The city of Detroit was developed as like a road-loving area, so you've got these spider webs.
Oh, I hate spiders.
They're streets. They're not actual spider webs. They're streets. Going out sort of everywhere into these beautiful little downtown areas surrounded by beautiful homes all around. You look at areas like Las Vegas and you've got like the city and then nothing, right? Like nothing around. Look at Detroit and it's just tons of places. It's huge. It's like one of the largest metro areas in the country. And so I help a lot of people move here from all over the country. When they come here and they talk about moving to Detroit, they don't realize that they have a ton of places to choose from at a bunch of different price points. From cheap places to super expensive places. Some of the most expensive real estate, I think, in the country is here. You can get out of the big city and still be close to everything. If you are moving to the Detroit area, check out this map tour video I made of the Metro Detroit area so you can figure out where you want to live, and I'll see you there.